Okay, so the time has come to pack up. It's the end, you've had a brilliant camping trip, and now it's time to take everything down. And I guess you're wondering, how am I going to take all of this down? That's usually the feeling on breakdown day. But I'm going to show you, because as well as Airbnb tents being easy to put up, they are quite easy to take down as well. So we'll jump into a few tips along the way to show you the most efficient way to take them down. One thing to remember when you're taking down any tent: open the doors. You want air to be able to escape, so either open them fully and leave them open fully, or at least partially, depending on where the wind is coming from and all that. But you do want air to escape out of the tent as you're deflating it, especially big tents, because otherwise you'll be waiting for ages and trying to, when you're rolling it off after, it causes all sorts of problems. So open the doors, we're going in, we're going to deflate the family, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so the next step is to roll the tent. So with this particular tent, the best thing is fold, fold. There is a very sophisticated technical way of getting the air up that way. It does involve just lying down. So this is obviously like a big sleeping bag in some ways. So there's going to be more air, and especially in an insulated tent like this colour, there's going to be air trapped in the insulation. Obviously that's how insulation works. So you want to get as much air out of it, and then that means it's going to as small a space as possible. Another little tip here: when you're bagging, put the bag on the top, fit it down over, roll it around, zip it up, cinch it up. There you have it, your family bedroom in one bag. So now we've taken down our insulated bedroom, the colour. It's time to go outside. Now, I spoke about leaving the doors open, but I would also unlatch. You don't want any rolls, that makes it harder to roll up the tent. So we're going to unlatch them here from the toggles and just let it drop down. Now you can close the tent a little bit. You can close the doors down a little bit. All we need is for the air to escape. So what I generally do is something like that. Just pull it down that far. It still keeps the structure in the tent, but obviously plenty of room for the air to escape when you need. Okay, so the next step is to take down the guy lines carefully, because otherwise you'll be cursing yourself the next time you're trying to put it up. So we're going to roll up the guy lines, leave one or two out, ideally on the side the wind is coming from. Like I said at the start, you don't want to be running down the field after the tent. Now there's lots of different ways and theories on how to actually roll up guy lines. I do it very simply around my hand, that's all. You can knot it, but more times than not, if you end up knotting it, no pun intended, you make complete bags of it, and you're going to end up cursing yourself again the next time you're trying to unknot the guy line. So a simple roll around the hand I find is the most effective way. Another thing, obviously you've made sure that all your vents were opened when you were using the tent. You want as much airflow into the tent as possible, but when you're rolling it away, you want to close the vents again because you don't want to damage them. So with this particular tent, there's just a little piece of Velcro, sticks on like that. Again, makes it nice and easy to roll afterwards. So next I'm going to take out the stakes, most of them anyway. Again, leave one or two in just to stop the tent from flying away. Again, it's a bit breezy today. So we're going to go around, take out most of the tents. I'm going to, on the wind side, the prevailing wind side for us today is southerly. So I'm going to leave the stakes over there as well, where I have the guy lines still on, just to make sure, again, we don't run into any trouble. But we can take the rest of them out of the stitch. So I'm putting away these stakes. If you're a little bit of a tent nerd like me, you might want to think about washing them when you get home, because as you can see, they're quite dirty, the ones I was putting away. So now the deflation part couldn't be easier. There are 3 valves. I'm going to open all 3 valves and the tent will simply drop down. Okay, so as you saw, very easy to deflate, just open the valves essentially, and the valves are at the front, which makes it easier again in the rolling process to roll all the air out of the valves. But before we go rolling, it's always a good idea to get as much air out of there as possible. So again, going around the verges, making sure that the air that it's easy to escape. So next is the rolling process. Again, similar to the family, we're going to actually fold first, then fold, and then fold a third time with this tent, and then we roll towards the door, towards the big door at that side again. So now we're ready to strap up the tent before putting it in the bag. Same principle as last time, we're going to put the bag over the tent. Again, air is the enemy here, so this is why we wanted to get as much of that air out as possible. It makes this a lot easier. There we have it. Crua core is down. So the last step is taking up the footprint. Remember, this is probably going to be the wettest part of the tent, but the beauty is the floor of the core is dry. So if you wanted to, if you are on a wet surface, all you have to take out afterwards, theoretically, is the actual footprint. But remember, don't put away a wet tent or a wet footprint and forget about it. Take them out when you get home, dry them out. Otherwise, next time you go back, you'll get a moldy surprise. So there you go, easy put up, easy take down. We're going to be creating more and more of these videos. We'll have them in a curated playlist up here, so you can click through. Also, if you got some value, please share the video and please subscribe and like and comment if you have any questions below, and we'll be back. We do monitor that fairly regularly, so if you have any questions, are there any ideas or any suggestions you have about creating video, about problems when you're camping, etc., let us know and we'll see what we can do. Till next time, sleep easy, live wild.